Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mike Strauss back at you with another interview. This time, Magic Matt Dixon. He's an undefeated welterweight from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I think it's just a matter of time before everybody is seeing him on the big show. But before we get to that chit chat, you guys know you can find my work at bjpenn.com, Low Kick, Cage Side Press, my YouTube channel, which of course is Mike Strauss, Mike MMA. All right, now back to the Magic Man, Magic Matt Dixon. Enjoy. I want to welcome Magic Matt Dixon to the show. He's 23 years old. He is 7-0. He's a welterweight, and damn, he's a fucking entertaining fighter. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, not too much, man. Just finished up training. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Anytime, my dude. You are only 23 years old, man. I wanted to ask you right off jump, why did you get into MMA?
Man, honestly, MMA brought me into the sport, man. When I was 6 years old, my dad actually introduced me to it. And so I was doing it on and off. And then whenever I was 12, I fell in love with it. And so ever since I was 12 years old, man, I've been at it.
Wow, that's super cool, man. So, you're a part of this new generation of fighters that, you're 23, as I said. So you have, as long as you've been born, there's always been the UFC around. And I think that's super cool that your dad kind of got you into it and you gravitated towards it. And here you are, man. You're 7-0.
Yeah, man, it was a crazy beginning, honestly. Like when my dad first got me started at it, there wasn't like really MMA gyms or jujitsu gyms out there. Like it was like a gym, and they were doing this type of combat, that type of combat. And the first gym that I went to was a gym called Mikey's Gym, and the head trainer there was a guy named Mikey Burnett, an old UFC fighter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he was, he fought Pat Miletich, and he fought a lot of different guys, and he was the man here in Tulsa back then. And when we were going at it, it wasn't really Brazilian jiu-jitsu training. It was just, we're going in here and we're working on wrestling, and then they learned a couple submissions here and there, and so it was just, it was still so new whenever I first started, but at the same time, it was, it's been cool to watch it evolve,
Man, the sport has it continues to just grow at a ridiculous rate, right? I mean, are you still in Tulsa?
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
So I imagined that I was just actually, I was in Wichita covering the UFC when they were there, man, and I really dig I'm in Chicago, so I'm a Midwest guy, but it's different, and I really dig that environment, man, and it's cool to see that, the smaller markets like yours, like Tulsa, now it's just MMA's everywhere, right?
Yeah, man, dude, we're raising some savages out here.
For sure.
It's gonna get hot. It's gonna get hot in Tulsa. Tulsa's getting some new fighters, and it's evolving out here for sure.
Absolutely. You have a big fight coming up at Xtreme Fighting 350 or Xtreme Fight Night 357 rather, April 4th in Tulsa. It's a welterweight title fight, man. Braden Smith, is that the dude?
Yes, yeah, that's the guy. I've known Brandon Smith for a long time. We watch each other fight, so this is the best I've ever been. This is the best I've ever been for sure, and this is the longest training camp I've ever had. So, I've had great fights with less training camps and different situations, so I feel good, and so I'm taking it one day at a time for sure, staying in the moment, but I'm definitely happy with the way this camp has gone so far, for sure.
Well, that is definitely good news, man. Is welterweight, is that going to be the division where you ultimately stay, or as your body changes, do you think that you might decide to try different divisions, or?
Man, honestly, right now, I love 170. The cuts aren't too bad for me. I don't cut a lot of weight, but I also don't cut too little of weight either. I'm in a good, happy balance right here. And so honestly, I feel great. And I've always had my eyes on the welterweight championship title. And I know I have to just take it one day at a time, and timing is everything. And so I just know that this is the division for me right now at this moment for sure. So that's my only focus, is the welterweight division, that welterweight strap.
For sure. For people that haven't seen you fight, man, how do you sum up? How do you describe your fighting style?
Really, I have the style of no style, man. Straight out of Bruce Lee. You feel me? Like, I love to fight, and I'm in the situation where if I feel like I need to do certain things in order to get the job done, I'm just going to get the job done however I have to do it, and honestly, that's how I fight. To say I have a style, I can't really say, because I truly love all aspects of this game. I really do. I love all aspects of this game, and I am in a situation where I can do everything well. But to say that I don't have a preference would be to lie, because I do enjoy taking somebody out with my fist standing up much more than winning a decision by out wrestling or submitting an opponent.
Yeah, the knockout is always where it's at, right? Or whether you do it
Yeah,
with your foot or your fist, it's definitely
yeah,
where it's at,
yeah,
man. Are you a big
yeah.
fan of the sport too? Do you find yourself like watching? Because it's like there's events every goddamn week now. It's hard to keep up, right?
Man, I'm obsessed with it. I love the sport. I really do. I'm obsessed with the sport. I have to be so careful, because on like Saturday nights and stuff like that, it's like, man, I have to prioritize things, because I know, like, I'll go to watch a fight before I'll go, and if I have work to do, I'll put work aside sometimes just because I want to see that fight, and I'll pick it up later, that type of situation, but so I really love this sport. I actually got involved with MMA because of obviously my dad getting me started with it, but I didn't really like it. I didn't like watching it. It wasn't until I watched Anderson Silva fight when I was 12 years old. I watched Anderson Silva fight, and I don't remember if it was a rerun or if it was when it first happened, but he fought Rich Franklin the first time, and he knocked Rich Franklin out. Well, obviously, that fight, right?
Hmm.
But in that fight, I just watched this guy that was it was just so natural how he fought. His style was so fluid. It was just a beautiful work of art. And whenever I watched that fight, I immediately became a fan, because it was the closest thing that I had ever seen to watching like a Bruce Lee movie. And so I was super pumped.
Yeah, I remember that, man. You're right. That was like the first true like brilliant display of like poetry and violence. Yeah, that was crazy, man. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's a cool story, man. Definitely how that was like the spark. Like the spark, you could say, that kind of got you wanting to do this. And here you are, man. So many years later, fucking undefeated, dude. You haven't even tasted defeat. So yeah, I can't wait, man. I think you're one of the very top dudes out there that's not signed to one of the big shows, man. So it's gonna be fun. And as you said, Oklahoma, Tulsa, you guys are bringing some heat. I want to give you a few minutes here, man. Shout out your coaches, sponsors, whatever you'd like. The floor is yours, man.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. First, I want to thank my coach, Craig Blacklock. We've done really great work this camp, and he's definitely bringing in the right guys to help me get prepared for this fight. I also want to thank Iridium Sports. They've actually done a lot of work for me, as far as, and we're still working on getting everything, lined up as far as being a part of Iridium Sports. Myself being a part of Iridium Sports, they've done great work for me. Those guys are awesome over there.
Hmm.
So I want to thank them as well too, and I want to thank my sponsors, Evolved Health and Wellness. They've done great work. They keep me on point. They keep me sharp. All of that good stuff. I have Stubbs Chiropractic as well. They keep me sharp. Another sponsor of mine as well too. As well as I have Tulsa American Shaman. They've done great work for me. Their CBD is definitely very helpful, and it keeps me recovering, right on point. As well as I have a lot of great support, a lot of different, family and helpful people in my life, and so I want to thank all of those people. And then I have a list of sponsors that I could thank, but I don't want to leave anybody out. So I will just leave it at that. As well as I have but one person I do want to shout out as well is Tom Wood with State Farm. They've done a lot of help. They sponsored me for a long time now, and so I want to thank them. I want to thank Tom Wood specifically. So yeah, that is it. So thank you.
For
Thanks for
sure.
that platform to thank them.
Oh, absolutely, man. And too many sponsors isn't a bad thing, right? That's always a good thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, lately it's been really good. You know, yeah. Having a good amount of sponsors is a good. I guess it's not a problem, but it's a good problem to have, if I might call it that.
Yeah, for sure. And you're right too. Those dudes at Iridium, man, they're fucking top notch. And yeah, man, I appreciate it. I wish you the best of luck, man. April 4th in Tulsa, you're going for the welterweight title, and I think it's just a very short amount of time before everybody's seeing you do your thing at the highest level, man.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.